All right, we've got the recording going, so we'll see if people join us. It should be set so you can share screen too, Keaton.
Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna shut my email down. I don't pay this $6. So 2 seconds.
Oh, your Google.
Yeah, my Google Workspace.
Never mind.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'll just pay it later. I don't want to use that card. All right.
See, with the hat on back, but I can't tell you who you're cheering for with the NHL.
Oh, it's the Penguins.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been a Penguins fan for a long time.
Penguins are my mom's favorite animals, so my dad
That's
got her into Penguins
that's how
hockey,
I
and
got into it for sure.
yeah, she's got her Sid
Okay.
Crosby jersey, and
I want to say this should be
there we go.
good. Screen share is paused.
Keaton has started screen sharing. Double click to enter screen mode. Yeah, it should be sharing.
And try this one time. There it is. Okay.
There we go.
Can
Like
you
I
see
had one
this?
little line down the middle of the screen.
You see this screen?
Yep. 768 South Ostler Way is showing up.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's my parents' house. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna look at that one today, I guess. So this is PropWire. It's an investor software. It pulls MLS data. So it has like all the listings and it pulls off market stuff. So it's kind of a mix between Real Advantage Titles app, farming
Mhm.
tool, and the MLS, like Zillow type of data. It's kind of cool. It's a free account, but you can pay for it. You get some of these premium lead types. So I can go in and filter. This is for prospecting, right? So I can go in here and pull up like, hey, I want assumable loans because I'm looking for seller finance deals, right? And then if I go zoom into Salt Lake, it should pull up
Wow.
every house that has an assumable loan on it in Salt Lake. So let's say, okay, I want to look at Sandy. I come in here. All these white dots are houses with assumable loans on them. So I can pick like this one. It'll pull it up. If it doesn't have a picture, it's because it's off market. Like it hasn't been on the MLS in a while. Um, so you'd have to pull it up on the MLS or Zillow even to find pictures. It'll say an estimated property value, which this is more accurate than the Zestimate is, but it's kind of the same formula. Um,
I noticed
so,
it shows last sold was 2013.
yeah.
So
So
you can't,
last 2013. So you'd have to go on the MLS or Zillow to see it.
right. But you can at least see if you're using it for prospecting, you can get a sense of,
Right.
is
So
this
this is
somebody?
what I look at for prospecting solar finance deals.
Okay.
Um, Estimated mortgage balance is 261, which means the estimated equity is 230 with based on this estimated property value. So it's
Hmm.
about 50%. It will show me all open mortgages and the estimated interest rate on
Okay.
there. So I can see if there's a mortgage on it. I can see like what their balance is, what their payment is. So if I'm going to look at it as a rental, I can go against that number. So if it's an
Huh.
$1,100 payment and I can rent it for $1,500 or $1,700, I already know that that's probably a good deal, right? This is probably a HELOC
Yeah.
or something.
Looking at
Um,
it 7% and it's at Mountain America.
yeah, it's a line of credit. So it
Yep.
also tells me the FHA loan, and then it has the lease term, when it's due, when the loan is due, that kind of stuff. I look at this probably the most, these two things,
Yeah.
um, the most, anyways. And then it pulls up zoning and tax ID records and things like that. Um, Building details, almost as much, or if not more, than the MLS will have, because it pulls public record in it and aggregates it as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then let's see. And then if so I can go to the owner. I know that his name is Richie. I can skip trace it in here, so it'll pull his phone numbers, so I can call him directly um, in there,
So
which
if
is
you hit that, how fast do you get the?
it's like 10 cents to do it.
Oh, okay.
I could do it for free. I mean, I have a free credit. I could do it real quick, but
No, I was just say if you're paying 10 cents for that, I could do that in forewarn for
I
nothing.
think it's 10 cents per lead. But it will skip trace all the phone numbers for you.
Well,
Um,
but like I said, with that, with his name and information like that, I could pull him up in
you
forewarn.
could forewarn this and get the exact number like
Yeah.
today in 2 seconds. So that's another option to do it that way. And then it will actually show you his portfolio. Like if he owns multiple, it will show you every single one of them in there. Um, and then the bed bath count, square footage, estimated value, estimated equity on there. Um, it also runs comps, which is kind of cool. And this software has non-disclosure data. So it has all the stuff the MLS has, which is kind of nice. So you can come in here and obviously you can filter like you can draw like if I want to draw, I think it's actually this way. Yeah. So I can draw like this block. Sometimes it crashes. Sometimes. We might be out of luck here. Let me refresh. Anyways, let's see. The guy that created this is a real estate agent with Real Broker also, by the way. So um that's probably how he's
Hi guys,
getting.
sorry I started late. Keaton, what's the name of the software?
It is called propwire.com
Thank
right
you.
there.
It's an
Um,
online app, and I signed up
yeah.
for it last week and have kind of goofed around with a little bit, but I want to see what Keaton does.
Yeah. So I my MLS access is actually inactive right now. So this is how I run comps on pretty much everything. Um I mean I'm mostly with investors anyway, so this is what they're gonna want to see. They're not gonna really want to see on market stuff because they can go on the market and look at it themselves. So this is how I find off market direct to seller deals, right? Like and even listings. I know a couple of realtors that use this for circle prospecting and things like that. Uh, anyways, so you can filter on the comps. You can filter sold pending for sale. I think you can do all of them at once. Oh no, just I guess any status would be how you do all of them at once. So it'll show you everything within that area. Like let's look in this neighborhood. So it'll show me this sold in 2003 and it's worth 540 estimated. The estimate is kind of like the Zillow estimate, Jeff. It's like an algorithmic estimate.
Okay.
Anyways, so you can, and some of it will actually, it'll tell you what it's sold for. Like down here, it'll tell you a price estimated sold for 583. So you could probably look that up and be like, oh, it's 580 or something, or 582 or something like that.
Hmm.
Uh,
How much is the subscription cost to
it
this? It
is
looks like
free.
it's
It is
really
free. There is a paid version. That's I think it's $100 or $150 a month or something like that. I just use the free version. It does what it needs to. Um,
okay. And so you just typed in the property that you wanted to
well,
research.
I zoomed in, but yeah, you can type in. If
Okay.
you're gonna run comps. This
Hmm.
is just a sample property. So like if I wanted to look at my parents' house in St. George, I would type in Way, and then it pull up my parents' house. Which if it doesn't have a picture, it's because it hasn't sold in the last 5 or something years.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. So it's estimated at 543. I think that's probably accurate. When I ran it on MLS, it was like 550. So um that was a couple months ago when I still had my MLS access. It's actually a 4 bed, 3.5 bath. The 4 bed is a den, so I guess they don't count that as a bedroom.
Must not have a closet, right?
No, it doesn't have a closet. So I guess it's technically a 3 bed, but the den is a fourth bedroom. And there
Actually, as
is,
long as it has its own door, egress, and is attached to the HVAC, they can count it
Mhm.
as a bedroom. You don't have to
It
have
just
a
doesn't have
closet.
a closet. Um,
Hmm.
but
An appraiser
yeah,
told us that because a closet, big deal. You go to IKEA and you buy one of their
they
build it
have a little
yourself thing and
hutch
stick it in the
in there
corner.
that they use as their like closet for
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Um,
Washington State, that used to be a requirement. Maybe that's not the case in Utah for it to
I
be
think that's
considered a
changed.
bedroom.
I think it's
Yeah.
changed because of affordability and things. But anyways,
Affordability and what appraisers were marking it as,
mhm.
going, you know what, you might have looked.
Yeah, yeah. And it's got 3.5 bathrooms. So there's a bathroom in the master, and then two of the bedrooms have an ensuite bathroom, also.
So
So
it's counting that half as a full.
and then well, there's yeah. So
It's
it's
just counting
rounding up.
toilets.
It's rounding up. Yeah.
Yeah, rounded up. Yeah.
Um, and then 21. It's about 22, 2150, I guess. Yeah. They just bought it. It was on a reverse mortgage with my grandma, and then they refinanced it into a forward mortgage a couple years ago. So
Okay.
this shows me that they got a 6.42% interest rate at 432 purchase price. They've got about 100 grand in equity in the last 2 years, which seems pretty on point for appreciation trends, in in my opinion. Anyways, um, and then it'll show Jeff. It shows zoning, public facts, so like properties, square footage, building area, year built, bed, bath, pool, story, land information. Shows you the subdivision, the tax ID, the zoning, class, the
Looks like it pulls up county records and
Yep.
some information
yeah.
off the
Yep.
MLS,
It
huh?
it kind of aggregates tax
Yeah.
record, county record, MLS data, and then like those kinds of things. Tax information shows me what their tax value is, assessed value, if you like those kind of things. I show these to people because they're like, "Oh, what's my worth?" I
Mhm.
get a little CMA on this. Like it'll actually print out like an MLS like fact sheet and like spit it out actually on this, which is kind of cool.
So,
Um,
hey, quick question. I attended a workshop today on Damus Analytics, which is attached to our St. George MLS. Have you
mhm.
looked at that at all?
I've not.
I would, oh, you're not hooked to the MLS down here?
Not currently.
Okay.
Um,
It's,
yeah.
we actually had the developer come to the
Nice.
Board of Realtors office and walk us through it. And there's some powerful information in there for marketing. Um, be happy to share it with you if you want to
Yeah.
log into it sometime.
Yeah, this I
Just
can
take a look.
I'll have to backtrack and show you. I was walking Darren through it before you hopped on, but there's some prospecting tools on here as well.
Yeah. I like the
Um,
idea of free better than paying for the
yeah.
MLS, honestly.
Yep. Well, my dad's name, right? Shows me the name, shows the mailing address. If I want to skip trace and find the phone numbers, if I don't have forewarned, maybe it's like 10 cents and it'll pull the numbers from public record. And then it
Yep.
shows the
Cool.
portfolio. So I could type in somebody's address that owns multiple, and it will actually show me every address, how many bed baths it is, what the estimated value is, what their estimated equity is, um, portfolio value, that kind of thing. If you want to look at that, I use that because
Cool.
if I'm looking for a cash buyer, right, they might have 5 or 10 or 15 properties in their portfolio. So I want to know, okay, when was the last time they bought something, right?
Yeah.
So that
So
will,
will
um,
it show up if they own property in multiple states or just it
yep.
will?
Anything that's their name is on the title, it will pull. Yeah.
Okay. So if they own it in an LLC or a
Mhm.
trust or If a
Yeah.
trust owns multiple properties, it won't show up
You're
that way.
probably SOL. Yep. If
Yeah,
it's whatever
okay.
the name on the like if
This
it's
is
the LLC is
Yeah.
the owner, right? So like up here it shows my dad's name right here. I've seen it where it's like trust, like something something trust, and then down
Mhm.
here we'll have like 15 to 20 properties.
Oops.
So yeah, it'll pull that stuff. History. So this shows me any kind of, so it's in a revocable trust right now, which I told them to put it in because I didn't want to deal with probate when they die. You know, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, this is the reverse mortgage right here that they had. Looks like it was up until 21. My grandpa actually built it in 2005 to sell to somebody, and then they ended up not moving in or something. So my grandpa moved in and kept it. It will show you like the mortgage history. So any lien that has been on this property, it will show you.
Better than the title companies.
Any mortgage that's ever been recorded, it will show you what it was.
I
And then
can't wait to pull up some of my own properties and this and see
yeah,
how it
let's do that, Jeff. Let's pull up
reads
one of
it.
Jeff's and see what happens.
yeah, we
All
can.
right. Do 172 North, 2040 East,
20, 40.
2040 East, St. George. Yep.
This one?
Hey, how about that? Yeah.
That's the
Last
right
sold
one.
in last sold 2023, so it looks like it has pictures.
It'll have pictures. So it'll actually pull whatever was on like Utah real estate or Zillow. Like if it was a for sale by owner or something, it will pull whatever was
Hmm.
on the internet. Um, so it'll show you all the pictures of the inside. Does it look like this still, Jeff?
Yeah, but I don't ever recall it being staged like that, so that's cool. Zillow will have different pictures, but it looks good.
Probably. Yeah. So this shows you the estimated property value is about 354.
Hmm.
Looks like you paid a cash
Yeah.
for it, so there's 100% equity in the deal. And then this
So,
shows you that these tabs right here, Jeff, is what I was talking about.
hmm.
So absentee owner means you own it, but you don't live there. Cash cash deal, free and clear. There's no mortgage, and then high equity, obviously, because there's 100% equity. So we'll circle back to that after we go through this and show you a couple other things. So it's obviously a 3-bed, 2-bath, built in 1994. Tax ID, all that fun stuff. So if we go history, so it shows you bought it in 2023 in May
Yeah. So,
in a trust.
yeah. I was just pulling it up on Zillow real quick, and Zillow has the estimate at about 380,000.
Yeah, so this is a little bit less.
Um,
In that case, that does happen. I have checked it on
yeah.
Zillow,
I
and
was
it
just
does happen.
looking at what they came up with for
Mhm.
different
Now,
numbers.
Zillow is usually what 20% off, usually. Um,
It can be up or down,
so
yeah.
that kind of shows me that's kind of an accurate statement. Anyways,
But I would
um,
actually think, knowing what I know about the property, that Zillow's probably the more accurate number
probably,
now.
yeah.
So, and that 355 must have just been showing the list price because I paid less than that for it.
Yeah, it's estimating. This isn't like the full. Obviously, the MLS is going to have that more accurate data, right? Because this doesn't pull from like the actual back end of the
Okay.
MLS, if that makes sense, right? Like when you go on the MLS and it says listed at 400, but it closed at 380, it's pulling the 400 price,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
right?
seeing too.
So,
So,
um, yeah, and so this shows like the listing ID. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but
anyway, yeah. So you want
Amy
to pull up
Larson
another one real quick?
Realtor. Yes, we can.
Let's pull up something in Duck Creek Village. Do 4150 Hole in the Wall Road,
I
Duck
love
Creek
names in
Village.
Duck Creek Village. I have to
This
tell you, there's a
one,
street
2010 was last sold in 2010.
2010.
Hmm. No, I bought it prior or after that.
Look at owner and see if it.
Thayer County Bank.
Hmm.
You buy it
Click
from an
on,
REO?
I've seen this up there again. If you go to type that property in again, that'll probably
This
have,
address?
yeah, it will probably have a different listing for it. Get rid of the zip code and Duck Creek Village. Sometimes it shows up as like Kanab. It's not showing
Hmm,
it twice, is it?
no.
Mm-mm. And it's showing like it's a vacant lot. That's kind of what that's showing. Like there's no bed
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, there's no.
Let's do something real quick. If I switch to this tab, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is an AI comping tool that I just started using. This is cool. Let's try this out.
What's it called? Bricked?
Brick.ai. This one is $50 a month for 100 comps, 100 CMAs. We'll see if what it does here.
Yeah, I love Dark Creek's names. We have one up here in Eagle Mountain that they had a fight with, the developer had a fight with the city over what to name the street. So they named it Havitcher Way.
Now this pulls up a big lot.
Well, that's the right lot, but it's fully developed. So,
And this is just pulling up a lot. I mean, there's a building on it right here, but it's not pulling up all the data.
hmm.
This is cool. This is cool though, because it will pull up like after repair value based on if it finds comps. So like my dad's house, it found comps for all from the MLS.
So this is saying,
Hmm.
So like these two are the most accurate comps I could find, and it spits out this is the value, which is pretty dang close to what this one said. So,
Oh,
uh,
that's not even close to what it's worth, by the way. It's off about 150
yeah.
grand.
yeah,
Just
Well,
my personal knowledge.
I can agree to that because
there's
Yeah,
no,
we're not getting accurate data on this one. So
yeah.
I would assume that this is not the correct value,
Mm-mm.
but yeah. So this is what I was talking about with lead types for prospecting, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
I can go in here and let's say I want absentee owner, assumable loan, and low equity for seller finance deals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go property type. I only want single family houses. Maybe I want a fourplex. And I can go in here and go price. I can go super niche, like super focused in, or I can just do those two things. And let's say I go to Salt Lake. There's a lot of these in Salt Lake. These are
Wow, that's
all the
awesome.
listings that are, what did I say? Absentee owner, assumable mortgage, low equity. These blue dots are listed on the MLS. The white ones are just off market public record stuff. So let's say I click on this one. This one is listed at 509. Estimated property value is 511. I can
That's
click on
pretty
the MLS
slick, Keaton.
listing and I can see what Zillow sees. Right. This is what Zillow would pull up. Price to sell, that kind of stuff. Owner, I can see, okay, it's in an LLC, comps. I can come in, probably not a year. Let's go last 3 months. Yeah,
nope.
that's probably fine. Half mile. So I can come in here and I can filter like square footage, 20%, give or take. Let's see what that does to our comp list. Okay, so it didn't take too many off. I can come in here and do, okay, same number of bedrooms. I took 3 of them off, so now I have 2. So I can come in here, come back to here and be like, okay, give it to me ±1. Now we got 5 comps, all relatively the same price range, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So we can come down here, look at, okay, this one's 1,000 square feet. So this one's probably okay because it's the same square footage. Obviously, we're going to adjust for a bedroom and a bathroom,
This one's low.
right? This one, this one's not a good comp because it's 800 square feet. I usually try to
Right.
stick within like 150 square feet, 200 square feet difference on either end,
Makes sense.
for an investment deal. This one's probably okay because it's a 3-2 and it's like what, 50 square feet more.
Yeah.
We can calculate, we can use this one. We'll use this one. And
It
then
keeps a
let's
running
see.
total on the bottom corner.
So this gives you the comp-based value is about 418 grand. I don't know how accurate that is because this says it's estimated at 511. Right? So I
Hmm.
probably need to get a couple more comps on here on the books. Let's calculate. Let's do this one. Click this one. See if I unclick that one because that's 394. It bumps me up to 460.
The lot square footage was lower on your other comps. That might have
Mhm.
made a big difference.
Yeah. So that one is 3,000 square feet less. This one's 9,000.
That one's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I use those two, I'm really at 460.
And they're listing it at 509, right?
509. Yeah.
Mhm.
But as we know, Utah is notorious for having inflated home prices. So, uh, like, what is this? A 4 bed, 3 bed, 3 bed, 2 bath updates.
1090.
They're probably counting a little bit of this remodel
Yeah.
that
It
they
looks
did.
like it looks like a recent flip.
hmm
I
Yeah,
agree.
I hate the wood trim, but hey, whatever floats your boat. So they're probably counting the upgrades or the money that they put into the deal, right? Into the
Hmm.
price. They probably need 500 to make it make sense. 510. All right.
So try this
So
one. So I have an appraisal on this one. 6174 Apollo West,
what is it?
6174 West, Apollo, Apollo Way, that one right there.
Okay.
This is my listing. We have an actual appraisal on it. Yeah, that's 110,000 below the appraisal.
So seems pretty on par here. Now the paid version I've been told has a little bit better data than the free version. So that's probably going to be a benefit. But let's put it into this other one, see what this one says.
But for prospecting, for looking at who's potentially going to sell,
That's what I use it for mostly. And I use this one to run comps because it's a little bit more accurate than the other one. But we'll see. Just 3 bed, 6 bed, 3 bath,
6 bed, 3 bath
1849 square feet.
on each floor. Yeah, it's
So it's
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say 6 beds and
there's no way.
1,800
There's no
square
way
feet. You
1800
yeah,
gotta,
1849 is just the gross living area because it
was
has a
that
full
times
size,
two.
has a basement same size. Yeah,
What's the actual square footage?
so
I mean, I could do
about 3,700.
yeah, because it's 3698.
those are the pictures.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, those are the current listing pictures right there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Darren, you got a good photographer. Those look good.
It's actually
That's what it's saying there based on
that's interesting because that's what it's currently listed at.
no comps. That's why it's not pulling any comps on it.
We had an appraisal done because it's a unique thing, and
Yeah.
yeah, he went way farther out for appraisal for comps than I
Now
thought he
this
would.
pulls, I think it goes up to a mile or two.
Oh, he pulled one out of a 55 and plus community, but
If that's not
779 is what we're listed at, but his
it's not a
appraisal came in
comp.
at 815.
How long has it been on the market, Darren?
Uh, week and a half.
Okay.
I mean, there's no way if all of these are above 750. There's no way that that is an accurate number. What does this say?
Is it backed up to one of the golf courses?
No, it's actually what it backs up to is this green that you see right here. Those are all city maintained trails.
Okay.
So there's no HOA, but you've got trails that go all the way up into the foothills.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see. Unselect. And then we want to pull.
The 1.17 million, I could tell you, is entirely different from the whole rest of the neighborhood. It just doesn't even fit.
Let's pull. Because you said he had to go really far out. So let's pull all of these.
Yeah, don't go past that. Don't go past Westfield Road because all that over there, long drive and where the middle school is a whole different community. This is Highland, one of those areas that got built over time.
Goodness gracious. Can we run comps, please? You know, for as much money as they dumped into this freaking software, you'd think it would run good. Okay, try not to use the draw board. Okay. Let's see. Let's go within. He went out. That's probably good. Okay. How far back did he go?
He went back clearing. I mean, we did the appraisal in beginning of February, and he was clear back into the middle of 2025. He went back about 6 months.
He went back 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back 6 months.
See, and the stuff that's around it,
Go down to here. Yeah, let's see. 860. That's it, 766.
yeah, because there is one that just sold on Apollo Way.
See if it pulls up. Right here. That puts you at 854 if you use Apollo Way.
Yeah, because that's
This
what that
other
one.
one, 830.
I know that one didn't. I know the Apollo Way one though didn't sell for 854. That was the list price.
Yeah, it's estimated. Yeah. So just those three on Apollo Way puts you at
Is this
734.
is this like a bread and butter type home for that neighborhood? Like typical of that neighborhood, Darren?
It is the basement. I mean,
But it's got a finished basement.
there's a fully finished basement.
Okay.
That's gonna add value 100%. So yeah, this one's too far out. Price and the square footage is off.
Yeah,
Even for yours, like 100 or 1,000 something, right? This looks like it's just counting
yeah.
the
This is just counting main floors on
top
these.
level.
Yeah,
So, where do you list it at?
we're listed at 779.
I don't think you're too far off, to be honest. With just given market knowledge, not even this, like not even going off of this, just knowing what the market's doing.
Yeah,
You know, like a
but
wholesaler isn't going to know that, right? But
right.
a realtor or an investor will know that maybe you add another 50 grand to it because of what the market's actually doing.
Yeah,
I always suggest running this against, if you're going to comp on this, running against the MLS also. But it will pull the same data, only estimated, not actual values. Let's see. It'll show this market tab is kind of cool. So it'll tell me
Oh, wow.
like the median home price in that zip code, median sell to list in that zip code, how many homes are listed in that specific zip code, trending price point, trending median sales price. If I go to Highland specifically, it
Oh, and
should,
Highland has so many. We got everything from the original homes from the 50s on one end to these
so
massive
it's just
$2
showing
million
trends.
custom on the
Yeah,
other.
Highland's a
So
cool area.
that's a good point. Can you break this down by neighborhood? Or does it only
It's
let you go
It's
down
only
to
by
zip
zip.
code?
it down to zip code,
Okay.
That's
unfortunately. Not
that's the way the MLS reports the data is by zip code.
Yeah. So obviously being realtors will know things that this will not. So um
But I like being able to say to them, look, what we're seeing is it's sold at 98% of list
yeah,
price, which is
almost 99% of
So,
sell to list, right?
so just FYI, that DOM analytics that I was talking about, it can be neighborhood specific now. They just
Yeah.
added that feature, which is totally awesome when you're doing comps.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be realtors are always going to have better data sources, right? Because we get MLS access because we pay for it. But the investor software is getting just about as robust.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I don't know, I like looking at these. I use this more of as a prospecting tool than a comping tool. Because I can go in and filter like, okay, I want to look at Oklahoma, Tulsa, because I know investors that are buying in Tulsa. And I can go filter through these, skip trace the owners. Like I have this list of 30 people in St. George, high
Mhm.
equity, just about all of them have high equity except for that one. I can go in here and skip trace this entire list, and then my ISA will go down and call the whole thing. See if they want to receive an offer on it. Um,
Pretty cool.
so yeah, anyways, that's the prospecting tool. Brick is kind of cool if you're looking at flip houses. Like this one. Let's just look at my parents' house, for example. Let's see. We've got these two comps that put it at 560, which I think is pretty accurate. This is actually you can chat with it. Like I can be like, I need to replace the flooring, paint the whole house, and update the kitchen. It will go and search the internet for pricing based on people's websites, like contractors' websites and cost of materials at Home Depot and things like that. And then it will
That's pretty cool.
spit out like, okay, square, and then it goes by the square footage, right? So then it will pull out, you see it up here, like flooring. It's 2152 square feet at 202 or $2.50 per square foot plus labor at $1.50 per square foot. Gives you a budget of like 8 grand for flooring.
That's
Include paint.
awesome.
It shows $1 per square foot for material, $2 per square foot for labor. 65 or $6,400 budget. Same with the kitchen remodel. $12,000 in materials, $8,000 in labor, puts you at 20 grand. Now, for me, as an investor, I go into the offer price calculator. Holding costs, what, 5-6% probably in holding costs. Closing costs are going to be
About
anywhere
3%.
from, let's see, if it's off market, there's not going to be realtor fees. So you're a point plus 6%, and then another 2 points. So what was that? 9 points total in closing costs. And then if I'm going to do a wholesale fee, I can put my wholesale fee in here. If not, if I'm just going to buy it myself for a flip, I'll take that out. And then my profit margin, let's say I want to make 100 grand. My offer price would be 328. to make 100 grand on that. Or I can go in, not be greedy, and take like the bare minimum on a flip. So my offer price is 373 based on this price minus the repair costs minus all the fees.
That's a slick calculator.
Yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. Even has like an API where you can tie it into your website or anything like that. Anything that has an API automation. I think you can tie it into Follow Up Boss actually. But anyways, yeah. So this is what I use to run comps most of the time because I pull up on my phone. It's quick. Like it's just, yep, yep, yep. You can adjust a couple of these other things. So I'm just looking for land. This pulls up the mortgage balance, estimated equity like this other one did. So it tells me the percentage, interest percentage, when it was recorded, maturity date. Looks like this was the original mortgage balance. Then they got a
So, question for you, Keaton. One of the buttons that you selected was that loans were assumable.
yes over here. Yep.
Have you found that filter to be accurate?
Um, yeah. I mean, if it pulls an assumable mortgage, I'm not looking to assume the loan, right? I'm trying to do a subject to.
Right. I just
So it's just
I don't know of a loan anymore that's been written in the last 15 years that's assumable. That's why I was
I see
I mean, technically FHA and VAR, but
it's already written in the documents for FHA
yeah,
and VA.
yeah, it's written right in the document. But the last couple of people I've talked to that have tried to assume VA loans, the VA is supposed to respond in 45 days, and one of them was still waiting 90 days later.
The VA, I don't really touch those on assumable or subject to because it's more complex for the seller,
yeah.
right?
They
Because
are transferable though.
they
Yeah.
are, but like the VA, right? The VA loan, you have a certain amount of entitlements that like the borrower is eligible for. And if you use a subject to or like an assumable and you don't do it the right way, their entitlements are taken anyways. Right. So they
But
can't go so let's
yeah,
say you have like 100 grand in entitlements on a VA loan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Darren, but I can go get a VA loan again if my entitlements are zeroed out.
so if I'm entitled, my entitlement is 500,000, and I
Right.
go buy a house for 300,000, I still have 200,000 entitlement remaining. So you
Hmm.
can have multiple VA loans going as long as their total of all of them is less than your entitlement amount. But
Right.
like a subject to, if it's done wrong, so I spend 300,000 on it, want to go buy something else and do a subject to and it's done wrong, all I have left is that $200,000 entitlement. The 300 is still tied up in the first property.
Yeah. So unless they're going to foreclosure or something like serious, I don't really touch VA loans on those because of that reason. Like it doesn't really help the seller at that point to sell those
Gotcha.
on a subject to type of transaction. But yes, to answer your question, this is fairly accurate in the sense that most FHA and VA loans are already assumable by nature.
Hmm.
So will you
Good
take
to
a look
know.
at bank REOs as well?
I
Or
can.
or are
Yeah.
you just in terms of your market, you're mostly just looking at assumable?
I'm looking at either I'm looking at an absentee owner,
Hmm.
assumable, and then I'll come down here to um, low equity and or MLS failed, expired listing.
Expired.
Right.
Okay.
Um,
Why
so
would you
see
select
the
low equity?
low equity. Why would I do that?
Yeah, don't you want them to have high equity to give
Not
you more?
necessarily because let's say you have a $500,000 house and you have 50% equity. In most cases, a realtor is going to tell you to take 250 grand up front.
Get your equity out of it right now.
Get your equity out of it and then carry the debt. Right. But if I
Hmm.
have a low equity situation where it's a $500,000 debt, they only have 25 grand in equity I can give them the 25 grand, pay their realtor on top of it and the closing fees, still be within my investment parameters. And then I just have a $450,000 debt that I'm carrying.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thanks for
Right.
that.
Instead of having to come up with 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, whatever up front.
Yeah, you're right
Unless,
about realtors getting involved and wanting them to
yeah,
get their equity out
because
of it.
they don't understand the benefits of it, and all realtors care about is how they get paid. Right. So, oh
True.
yeah, come up with 100 grand. I'm going to take 30 of it, and my seller's going to get 70.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or I'll just pay you 10 grand for the lead because you couldn't sell the house in the first place, and I'll take over this
Right.
debt, whatever. Um, Now these ones that are grayed out, you have to pay for, like the software to get it. But like these, like I can pull up bankruptcy, I can pull up cash flowing rentals that like it will algorithmically go find properties that cash flow. Creative financing is the seller financing stuff. So it'll pull like anything that would be a good lead for that. Like a low interest rate on the mortgage, low equity, pre-foreclosure, things like that.
I'd love to see what the desperate landlords
I
algorithm
know.
looks
I'm looking at that name going, interesting.
Desperate landlord is tired landlord is another word for that. So it's somebody that's owned the property for years, usually 20, 30 years or something like that.
like.
10
Okay.
years, 15 years. They're just tired of being a landlord, right? But it's usually it would be like a 20-year ownership. Somebody's getting ready to retire and liquidate their portfolio. That kind of thing is what
Okay.
that is going to pull. Code violations for flips and things like that. Flipped properties is anything that's been flipped. So if I want to go look at like if I want to run a CMA on a flipped house or a flip house, I can go look at that neighborhood and see any houses that have been flipped and what they sell for. Um, Intrafamily transfers is like I think it's a yeah,
That's either if it's a
divorce,
Off-market
inherited,
deals.
inherited house.
inheritance or if it's they're putting it into a
hmm
trust.
A trust or something like that. Yep. Liens, any kind of contractor lien or anything like that. Negative equity is something I also look for with seller financing because let's say they're negative 10, 20, 30 grand. I can pay them the 10, 20, 30 grand on the purchase price and then sit on it with a balloon long enough that the house appreciates and then I make money on the back end. Right. So that's something I look at out of state owners for cash and creative deals. Pre-probate, usually, I don't know how accurate that is because how do you predict if somebody's going to die or not? But, anyways, um,
Good question.
yeah, you can look at those. Pre-foreclosure, obviously. Private loan is like a hard money loan or something. Um, if it has something like that on it, like a short-term finance, usually, yeah, private lenders. Sub 2 MLS. So anything that's on the MLS that's offering a subject to transaction or seller financing type of deal. Sub 2 off market. So anything that would be good enough for a sub 2 transaction. Tax dodgers, so tax delinquent, right? They haven't paid their taxes in years. Tax liens. Tired landlords is another one. Desperate would be they're willing to take a discount. Tired landlord is they've owned it for several years. Um, Vacant homes, vacant lots. Zombie properties is like you driving down the street and it's like the grass is 8 feet tall. It's boarded up. It's been sitting there for, Lord knows how long, right? That's what those would be for. But
Okay.
anyways, I can go property types. I can filter on any kind of property that I want to look at. I can even come in here. I want to get more granular. Let's say I want single family house, 3 bed, 2 bath, 1 story, whatever. Owner filters, let's see, absentee owner, out of state. It's in a trust or it's a individual. And then No, I didn't click that one. Years of ownership. Let's say they've owned it for 10 years. That's how you filter the equity usually is like, okay, they've owned it for a couple years or they've owned it for 20 or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Uh, Tax delinquent year, let's say I could put that in there somewhere. Um, it's a premium lead though, so I don't necessarily want to pay for that. Estimated equity percentage. Let's say I want anything that's like it's called 30% or less, right? 30% equity or less, I can filter that.
So is this
Last sale date.
searching then just in the area that you have on your map? Like right now
Yeah,
you're
but I can zoom out and go search a different area once I get these filters on.
oh, okay.
Foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, auction, REO. Like I can go look at any of those. If there's an auction date, I can set my auction date between whatever period. So that usually signifies a deal is going to happen because they're going to auction in a week or something. And they're like, okay, well, I need to get out of this before it goes to auction and my credit's screwed. Right. Um,
Bought a
and
few at the auctions. That's always a fun experience. I
yeah,
don't know what it's like in Utah, but in Washington, it's there's some pretty good professionals there, I'll tell you that.
We've had one of our agents try to get involved in auction a few years ago,
it's
and
a fraternity.
yeah, it was the same guy showing up to every one. If they saw a new guy there, they deliberately bid it up just to make the new guy pay more than it was worth.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a fraternity to get into those auctions. I can
I think you're right, Keaton.
I can select MLS status if I want to go after expired listings. Let's see, that's a lot of different filters there. So save and close. Let's see what it pulls up here. Nothing in Tulsa. I'm way too niche down. Let's go over to Salt Lake because why not? I'm way too niche. So I gotta come over here. Let's see. Nope. 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 Let's see what that does. There we go.
Whoa, there we go.
I got a bunch that are single family house, 3 bed, 2 bath, 1 story,
Absentee
absentee
owner.
owner, and the owner lives out of state. I can look in here. Okay, this one's listed on the MLS. This one's not. So probably it may or may not have a picture, but then I can go in and look at this and say I want to call this guy Cannon Wright, skip traces number, call him up, be like, hey, I see your property on Kiwane Drive. Do you want to offer? Like so. Yeah, this is a prospecting tool and it's free and it does just about the same, if not more granular than Real Advantage Titles app does. But anyways,
Pretty
All
cool.
right, well, I'm gonna
that's
start
my
playing with that.
yeah, that's my you can fill your wallet in for like skip traces and things like that. Um well, yeah. And it pulls the whole country. Like I can go say I want to go to like Missouri. Let's
St.
see.
Louis. Let's see how
St.
messed up
Louis.
that city is.
St. Louis has got some good deals right now, for sure. But I get see it pulls up. These yellow ones are pending deals.
275 for single family.
165, 109.
That's almost unheard of, isn't it, Darren?
You can pick up
My
property like flip properties in St. Louis. I'm seeing them like 25 grand,
the homes that got
15
flooded by the
grand for these flip properties.
for flips. Yeah, my daughter and son-in-law that are the active duty Air Force, Sumter, South Carolina, 234 for a 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,200 square feet on slab with a attached 2 car garage.
Hmm. I saw the same thing in Ohio. They were going, what was it, Columbus, Ohio? They were like dirt cheap.
Well, when the market bottomed out the first time, they were selling entire city blocks in Detroit.
Hmm.
but that meant you had to invest in Detroit.
Columbus, Ohio. Based on our filters that we have, like it pulls
Yeah,
up all these.
Detroit, they were probably paying you to take the whole city block.
And some of them they were, yeah. They were like,
Yeah.
this whole city block's blighted. Can we just get rid of it?
Detroit, Michigan.
Go across the river and end up in Canada.
Yeah, look at Ann Arbor. That's close to where I'm from.
Excuse me. Ann
Just go
Arbor.
west of Detroit. There you are.
Right there. Bang.
Not a lot. Oh, there's a few.
There is quite a bit. 99 in this square of the map. So
Cool.
one listing, 1.67,
1.7.
1.69.
It's corporate owned.
So go what this says.
Yeah, Ann Arbor's got a bubble there. You've got the university,
Yeah.
so you go to
Corporate's an LLC, so it's just an LLC name.
So yeah, with the university there, you've got that kind of money.
hmm
Yeah. 6.3% rate, 34% equity. See, that's a little too high. I'd probably come in and be like, okay, I'll give you 100 grand. Right? Like 10% of the price for a seller finance or something.
Yeah, if it's owned by a corporation, they're pretty savvy, I find, usually with their equity and
If it's
wanting.
an LLC, it's an investor that owns it,
It's an
hmm
investor. Yeah, they've gone through and
more than likely.
yeah, because
Uh,
back it up, you can see where they put in mini splits in the formal dining.
which, yeah.
hmm
Right.
Original hardwood refinished
Yep. See,
floors.
there's the heater. There's the original,
Yeah.
but they had a right there, mini split. That's 10 grand there.
So, anyways, play with it, see how you like it. I mean, I use it. I usually will use it in tandem with, right? Not by itself. Um, there's a couple of other websites you can use that are like this, that are paid if you want to. One of them is called PropStream. PropStream is $97 a month, and it pulls a bunch of data. Goodness, all these friggin' pop-ups. Good night. This one has an app on your phone that you can use also, but yeah, it has like the mortgage debt value, same things that PropWire has, but this one's kind of the number one investor software database that they use to look at stuff. And it will rate things based on condition and whatnot. The other one, there's a couple other ones, but dealsauce.io is another one. This one was created by Pace Morby, who does the seller financing deals. So his finds is more specific to seller financing stuff.
hmm
But I don't want to pay for a software if I don't have to. So I use the other one. But the guy that created this one, Pace Morby, and then the guy that created this software are buddies. So uh, yeah, those are couple. I think this one's also
Right. You
$100 a
told me
month.
about Pace Morby in our last meeting. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So this guy that's $100 a month, same kind of software and setup as these other two, but it's more of a prospecting tool than like a CMA type of tool in that aspect. As far as realtors go, right? If you're
hmm
not a realtor, you're probably going to use something like PropStream, because it's a little bit more accurate than PropWire, in my opinion. But PropWire does what I need it to. So, um, and then Bricked is new, and it was created by a wholesaler, um, to do the wholesaling. But this is probably 90%, 95% accurate to what the MLS pulls. This is probably by far the most accurate comping tool that's not the MLS that I've used. And I created a free plan with my wife's account because I didn't want to pay for it for today. But
Mhm.
it's like $50 a month for 100 CMAs. It's $100 if you're doing 200, I think. So if we want to split it, there's like an enterprise model. We can split the payments and use it. Let me see what yeah, 100, $200 a month for 500 comps.
Yeah.
Or you
If
can
I
even
was doing it as often as you were, Keaton, these softwares would probably be worthwhile, but I'm
yeah.
kind of in your camp. I'm not paying for any subscriptions at this point that I don't use a lot. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
shoot, just
So
being part of the MLS down here is what, 1,500 a year?
it's a lot.
It's how
Yeah.
Just
much?
having to pay what is it, $50 a month for the MLS up north?
We've got $50 a month for the MLS here, and it was $905 for the
I'd rather have that model, to be honest, because I think $900 is easier to swallow than 1,500. But especially with how crappy the MLS is down here, like I hate Flex. I can't stand it. So
Well, yeah, look at that,
now you have to
what's
send
it
us the
called?
link. Send
Domus
us the link to it.
Analytics, which is part of the MLS now. It's it surprised me at how good it was. So
Anyways, yeah, I'll have to check it out. This software alone does the trick for me for the most part. So for what I'm doing, anyways. And
yeah. Well, if your system works right,
yeah.
good. So
So
anyway,
all right, guys.
so we're meeting in 2 Thursdays from now.
2 Thursdays from now, I'll send an email out and find out what people want to go over next time.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank
cool.
you. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Keaton.